I'm frozen.
What's up, guys? Yeah, we're live just in time for Buff to be frozen. So
I'm good.
that's huge. It's not live yet. Oh, there. I think you're kind of back on here.
I'm back.
Yeah, I love it here. This is a
Hopefully.
great show, guys. Don't even worry about it. This stuff always happens. I don't get it. I feel like, what is this episode, like 96? You think I'd be getting better at like all the workings and stuff? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Buff. How are you doing, dude?
Good. Now that I'm not frozen, I'm doing well.
Yeah, being frozen sucks.
Not good, man.
Is a teaser for R6 Rainbow Six Operation Deep Freeze that we're going to talk about later. Look at you go.
We rehearsed that before, everybody, just so you guys know. We practiced that.
Yeah,
so.
We do a lot of prep and rehearsal and stuff for the show. Yo, Taco, thank you for the £2.
Question mark? I think you got it.
Is that a euro? I don't even know. I'm an uncultured American swine. I don't know.
Yeah, we're dumb, but thank you anyways. That's awesome.
We're dumb, but I appreciate it because it is a currency. Euros. Phoenix has got me. Euros. Thank you. That's super kind of you. Maybe you should have watched the show a little bit before you did that and found out how not ideal it is before you did that. But thank you so much. Excited to actually be here. We got like a lot of stuff to talk about. Got the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer to talk about, which will be a big juicy topic for us as the Buff and I got some time with it, not together, so like we didn't play together, so this is going to be interesting to see the two sides of it, how each other feel about it. And then Rainbow Six Operation Deep Freeze, the test server went live on that today. I messed around with that just a little bit. Big changes to Rainbow Six. Delta Force put out some new gameplay. If you guys don't remember, that's like kind of, I mean, you could maybe venture out to call it like a Battlefield competitor or something like that. And then there's a couple little knickknacks, small stuff to talk about in the quick shot. So it should be a pretty good episode. The more astute observers of you will notice that Blue is not here. Those of you who are paying attention, Blue's not gonna be able to join us this week. His son is in the hospital, but he wanted me to tell everyone that he's getting better. Things are going well, trending in the right direction with his son. So we send all of the love, thoughts, prayers from the Scope community to Blue and his family. So hopefully he gets better quickly and they can get back on with things. But that's why Blue's not here. So he is dealing with family stuff. That's trending in the right direction. So that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What'd you do this weekend? Was it mostly were you grinding pretty hard on the old COD?
Yeah, that's one thing I did. So like, yeah, Friday was also my birthday on the release of COD. So we did a lot of birthday shenanigans, which included COD.
Did you have a Miller Lite?
I had one Miller Lite, yes.
Abier. You had Abier.
Yeah, I had one singular Miller Lite, and I enjoyed it.
Nice. That's good. Man, I had a really good weekend of games. I had like a 4-day weekend from Veterans Day, and it felt faster than a normal 2-day weekend because I was like so excited to have 4 days off from work, and it just like it was a blur. Played some Rainbow Six, played a lot of Search and Destroy, played COD on the release night with Big Fry. Had more than one bourbon. Tanked my KD and my win-loss in Search.
Nice.
So yeah, that's not good. But I will recover. I'll recover the stats. That's the goal this year with Call of Duty, to recover the stats. Yeah, had some awesome streams. Had a really good weekend. Sad to be back at work, but feel like I'm not alone.
You got Thanksgiving right around the corner though, so
we do. We
get another like minimum 5-day weekend. So we
do, and then man, next week might be. I'll have to talk to you and Blue, but it might be the first time I miss a week with this podcast. I'm gonna be gone pretty much all week, like Friday through the next weekend. So.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys got. We'll talk about it.
Maybe, yeah, we can maybe just do a pre-recorded thing or something. We can figure it out.
Yeah, we might be able to do something.
Or you just give me controls and I'll just go live at some random time on some random day and we'll just wing it, you know?
I'll give you all the login info and you just like go live from a random hot tub. Like
perfect.
Or a strip club. Go to a strip club.
I'll go to a strip club. We'll do an IRL strip club stream with
Just
Buff.
get me
It'll be great.
banned. Just get me banned real good.
I'll take, if anyone can do it, I think it's me. I'm up for the job.
I got faith in you. I feel like you can get me banned.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got the week off, but we're gonna be going out to deer hunting in Oklahoma, to my family's land, out there, and then be
Nice.
coming back through to my folks' house, like halfway between here and there, for the Thursday and Friday. Maybe try to come back on the weekend, but yeah, gonna be gone like, and that's when I talk about that's where I want to move my family hopefully one day, and it is off the grid, as far off the grid. Like, they have one like little power line that runs out to the house, and like that's it. So I will be unplugged.
So we'll communicate via carrier pigeon going forward.
I think we will. I got some trained up too. As long as
Nice.
my dog doesn't eat him, we'll be chilling.
I'm ready, man.
I want to get Starlink so bad, and just try it, like test it out at the house, because that's what I'll have to use if we move.
Yeah.
And I want to test it out, but it's like $600, and then I would just have to turn it on for a month and then turn it back off. Like, I wouldn't need it when I came back home, so it'd be
right.
It's kind of dumb to just try it, but I'm excited. I don't know why I'm excited, because it's not that great for what I do, but it's interesting to me. Like, the whole thought of space internet that is pretty low latency and stuff is just kind of cool.
That is neat.
Shout out Elon. I know he's watching.
The future. Yeah, Elon's our boy. I think he was gonna come on the other week, but I think he had to do Joe Rogan instead. He said he didn't want to. He'd rather be here, but he already committed. So
yeah,
we'll get him.
That happens a lot with our guests. They oftentimes have scheduling conflicts with the Joe Rogan podcast. It's not a big deal. We're used to it. We're used to it around here. So
we'll get him.
Multiplayer?
Do it, man. I'm ready.
Man, I don't know. Are you gonna DMCA me if I play some of your footage in the background?
No.
It's gonna be exciting to see what kind of ads I get.
Hopefully it's some weed ads again. I enjoyed those ones.
Well, I'll just watch your videos all day, and you watch mine. It'll be infinite money glitch. We'll just watch all our ads together.
Dude, I can loop that on 24/7. Let's do it.
Infinite money glitch.
Just on a different tab while I'm doing work. Let's go.
What are you doing? I'm getting rich. That's what I'm doing. I'll make we might make like 2.35 cents during this podcast. It's gonna be great. Not enough to pay for the electricity to run the computer, but that's not important. All right. Big story of the week: Call of Duty Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3 multiplayer. The launch, in my opinion, was pretty smooth, because it's essentially the same game. So that's one of the bright sides of it pretty much being a DLC. The launch was pretty smooth. It's got about the same netcode and stuff, same graphical fidelity. Still having to play it. Still having to get it to where it works with last gen consoles. Not much different, man. I've thought about this all day in like preparation for the podcast tonight, for talking about it. Mm-hmm. Man, I have like a list of pros and cons, and I honestly don't know where I set. Like, standalone in and of itself, it's got like the 16 maps that are old school, that are pretty big and work pretty well. Mm-hmm. I feel a little bit, I don't want to say duped, I don't want to say slighted. It just feels a little bit weird how similar everything feels. I know it's Call of Duty, and I know we expected this. I know it's a sequel right after the next game, so it should be familiar. Mm-hmm. But just where I saw a couple of tweets where people were still seeing like the DMZ logo while they were loading in. That was left in the game. Some other different things that lead you to believe a lot of the game was like copy pasted, a lot of the same stuff, and it feels like a Modern Warfare 2.5, and I just can't help but have that little nagging feeling that this company is going to make billions of dollars off minimal work. Like, they've basically optimized their income, and it just feels a little shitty. But at the same time, the game is decent. Like,
yeah, I mean, just to build off what you said there, because I don't know whose video it was that I watched, and I shared the same sentiment. Was I think it was Ink Slasher, one of his videos. Also, shout out to Ryan Reynolds, he's our boy, sponsor of the channel. You picked a great gameplay to show here because this was like a pretty solid game I had on Rust. One of the only ones on Rust that you'll like ever have a good one. But yeah, basically think of it this way: it's like every year Call of Duty is the same every year, and I think the only reason people have issue with it now is because it's two Modern Warfares back to back. Every year they're basically reskins, just different eras. And they even said, I think, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, that they were going to be utilizing basically this engine and framework going forward for the new Call of Duty HQ overhaul. So every game's going to be built off the same engine. So I think people have issue with it and are calling it a DLC just because it is back to back Modern Warfare titles. If this were a Black Ops or some random other game, I think you wouldn't be saying it's DLC. And plus, they have a lot of new content. I feel, and I love playing the old maps. I think it's a lot of fun, and for you, it's the first time playing them. But I think also you look at some of the other development studios like Treyarch and they've been pulled in. They haven't had a rest, like enough time to develop a actual good game in a long time, since maybe Black Ops 3-ish, I want to say. They've always been rushed, and kind of like the workhorses. So in my mind, I think this. I see where everyone comes in saying that it's a DLC, and I can understand that. But really, every year is pretty much the same thing, just a reskin and with a different era, different weapons, things like that. I think everyone's just noticing it because it's two Modern Warfares back to back. But also look at it as like, this just means we're going to get a way better Treyarch game than we've ever had in a long time, because they actually have a full development cycle this time around. So,
yeah, I think what does it for me, I totally get what you're saying, because every year COD is pretty similar. You have same game modes and all that stuff. I think what was weird, it kind of pulled me out of it, was like, when you'd see somebody using like the TAC 56 or something, or you'd see a lot of the same operator skins, or like after a match, it would go to the same old battle pass, and you just get the feeling that, man, this still feels really the same. Like it just had like an extra bit of this feels like a DLC. So that was a bit of a bummer to me. At the same time though, like, again, my standalone experience in my bubble, like you said, I hadn't played a lot of those maps because I never played original Modern Warfare 2. So playing Search and Destroy on those maps was like, I got a lot to learn. They're bigger. They're a lot more intricate. There's a lot more places. Call outs are going to be tough because the maps are like kind of more ran down and like gritty and stuff. There's not like super colorful places and easy call outs to be made. So Search is going to be fun. It's going to be a good year for Search and Destroy for me and for my community. And just based on that, the other thing that I felt a little bit misled on, I thought there were going to be a lot more weapons. I thought there were going to be a lot more original weapons when they said like 50 some weapons or whatever. I didn't do the math on that. That's on me. But I didn't feel like there were that many new guns. It felt like there were a few usable ARs, battle rifles and stuff like that. They did well with the LMGs. They did bring some of those in. I thought they were ass though. Do you think the LMGs are like, I know your team LMG. I thought they're kind of dog shit. Like,
yeah, I mean, so I've only used the PKP that you see there in the gameplay and the SAW, the two that I've leveled up. I think the PKP is good, but it really, once you get to the aftermarket conversion for the bullpup, it's very, very good. And you're like super slow with it until you bullpup it. Then when you bullpup it, it's night and day difference. And I think like the gameplay I did in yesterday's conversion for the bullpup PKP like was great gameplay with a bullpup, and I think it's just so slow. It's a very heavy machine gunning game. You feel super slow. So like trying to move away from combat is kind of like really hard until you bullpup it. And then the other one I maxed out was the SAW, which the SAW I think is probably my second favorite gun in the game. So yeah, I had, again, awesome games with the SAW. Had a really good time with that one. Those are the only two I've used for as far as LMGs go so far.
I try to use them, and for playing multiplayer stuff, they were rough. What's up, Blue? What about my skins? Oh, there's plenty of skins, but yeah, like I don't know, man. I guess I'll try to quit talking about it and try to get more into the game. I'm having a really hard time like saying how it makes me feel. It's like it took away some of the excitement of like a new Call of Duty game because it felt so familiar with some of those things that kind of break you out of it. Like seeing some of the same old skids, seeing a lot of the same guns, seeing the same old battle pass, like that stuff felt kind of crappy. But at the same time, the standalone game itself, I think, is pretty decent. It still has the net code is the same. You still, because you see it when you play search, you still get the ghost hit markers and stuff. And gunfights can feel crappy sometimes, but for a launch, and again, take this for good or bad, it basically made everyone pre-download the game right before it went live. So launch was like really smooth, like it just kicked on and like everybody could start playing. On PC,
which is good because usually you have like the servers are down for like an hour. You know what I mean? So it was nice.
So that was one good thing. That was one good thing about it. Like not having the servers be completely bricked for the entire launch night was a good change with this way of doing things. The actual Call of Duty HQ on PC is horrific. It is incredibly counterproductive, man. It like when I first saw them or heard of them doing Call of Duty HQ, what it looked like to me, and I'm just an idiot, but what I thought of instantly was like, okay, so you have Call of Duty HQ. That's going to be a page in like Battle.net or Steam where all the Call of Duties are, and you pick the one you want to launch. It's like, no, it's you have to launch the Call of Duty HQ and then pick the game you want. Then that closes. Then it launches the game you want. So like you're actually having to launch a launcher. They added an extra launch.
Oh God,
which is not helping. It's not efficient. It's terrible.
That's night and day different from console because on PlayStation, I just click on Modern Warfare 3. I boot right up into the Call of Duty HQ, and it's already on Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. I can hit the down arrow to go down to like private matches or zombies or whatever, and I can hit down again and go to Modern Warfare 2. So it's all like right there. So it's definitely a lot easier. However, to be fair, I haven't tried to like relaunch into Modern Warfare 2, so I don't know like what the turnaround time is to like do that. I think it automatically launches you into Modern Warfare 3 on console, and then you have the HQ there to relaunch into a different game. But it's definitely much easier versus PC.
Yeah, because when you launch the Call of Duty HQ, then you can like scroll through the different games sideways to like Warzone to the different stuff, and then you click it, and then you have to wait for that to go down. And then you have to wait for the other game to launch, and it's just like
sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's really crappy. It sucks. It actually rivals Rainbow Six with how long it takes to launch the game. That game takes an eternity to launch, and I don't understand why, but we'll get to that later. But
the typical the HUD and everything like that, everyone's been complaining about. So
the UI
is here to stay for a while.
The UI keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse and worse. The changes they make are always bad to the UI. But I had a lot of fun playing Search. I think the first night played together with like the stack, I think we went 18-3. So my buddy Ham had a 6-win loss on opening night from Search, so we played well. As far as changes like to the gameplay, like I said, man, like where I find enjoyment in Call of Duty, I don't really enjoy grinding camos. I don't really enjoy, kind of running around crazy and playing like hard point. I will like to level guns and stuff, but where I really have my fun to just to put my opinions in context for everybody is with a group of friends playing Search and Destroy, like with good comms, having fun, trying to win and trying to make cool plays, kind of like Rainbow Six, using tactical cameras, recon drones, stuff like that. They nerfed the recon drones. Everybody who listens knows I'm a big recon drone fan. How it worked in Modern Warfare 2 is even if people had ghosts, you could still see their diamond and you can manually ping them. But in this one, you can't see them at all. There's no indicator. You can see them visually with the recon drone, but you can't ping them or anything for your team. A lot less people had ghosts, at least so far. So they were still working pretty well. But again, like Search is playing way different. And it's a different enough experience with the time to kill and with how they changed those things that it's going to be fun. I'm going to have fun with the game for the year playing with friends. I would rather pull my own teeth than like grind multiplayer camos by myself. Like that does not sound fun in the least.
For sure.
But Search is going to be good. So we're gonna be able to try out new things, some of the new gadgets, maybe get a little bit more into tactical camera. I was watching Marksman play Search. He had some really cool stuff. I'm gonna post like a TikTok or a clip pretty soon. In Search and Destroy, there's third person spectating. That is crazy. It should actually be, it probably won't be because I don't think they ever balance anything mainly for Search, but it should be disabled in Search, the third person view. So you can, have you seen that where you can spectate your squad mates third person?
I haven't, but I can see why that would be an issue for Search.
Yeah. Now it is hard to control when the person's moving because it moves as they move, the third person, so you're constantly having to steer it. But where it is like straight up OP is if you have, like, if you plant the bomb and it's like a clutch situation. So we were on Karachi, we planted like the B bomb site. I laid down behind a wall and was watching my back, and then I had my buddy Ham third person spectating me facing the other way over the wall, and he could watch the bomb. God. And it was a 1v2, and I was comfortable because my buddy had my back. I was watching my flank. One guy came to my flank. I didn't get up. Ham made the call out. He's on the bomb. I turned around, whoop, shot him. Like, just like using the third person spectator in Search is like so OP.
I'm assuming they'll get rid of that pretty soon.
They should. But the recon drones were incredibly OP the entire last year, and they never changed them. So who knows? But we're gonna be making like some tactical camera plays and using some of the different stuff. As far as weapons and stuff, but like, man, that's the fun stuff about Search is sometimes you find like loopholes by that, and nobody cares enough to look for that shit, and you can just exploit it. And it flies under the radar because I don't think they necessarily balance Search for competitiveness. I think it just gets balanced with the rest of the game. It is what it is. I don't think they care about the competitive integrity of it that much outside of just normally blanket balancing the whole game. So there's interesting stuff. I love finding that kind of stuff. That's why I like Search.
Yeah. And like CDL is like the only place where they would change the rules.
And I guess ranked, they balance that differently, but as far as weapons, the Holger 5.56, like the G36 AR version, was pretty decent. But I thought, is the Bass B, is that like the SIG spear?
Yeah, that's the spear. Yep.
That's the strongest one so far that I've found.
Yeah, I did that one today for the conversion, and the gameplay I showed was like, it was playing the war mode, and it was like I went 70 and 38, I think it was, and it's like when you get a good, that's like a good overall weapon, but like you get a right build with that, and it's just insane. So I suspect somewhere down the road, after probably when we get into the season 1, there'll be some weapon balancing going on.
Yep. I think I like the movement too. The movement changes. It's a little bit more responsive and quick, but it's not exploitable. Like Modern Warfare 2019 was. You can still like slide and reload cancel. But it's not as glitchy and crazy. So I think the movement feels okay. Again, from the perspective of Search and Destroy, the covert sneakers are annoying, man. Like, and I'm gonna get so much shit for this because if you play, they're great in my opinion in like hardpoint and domination and TDM and stuff. I think it promotes people moving, flying around, having fun. But man, in Search where stuff is like a little bit more like rigid and readable, it completely throws so much readability out of the game mode. You can try to hold an angle, like occasionally. I mean, I'll try to come up with just like a generic example. So like in Modern Warfare 2, you can hear people's footsteps. Again, they can pop dead silence and you get hosed. But it's like, if you're thinking about like map control and stuff and like a 3-lane map, a lot of times there's like a connector that runs through the middle of the objectives and one that looks down the long way. So you can have people and you can hold cutoffs and stuff and you can gain map control. You can say, this person's watching to the right down this alley. I know if they cross, other person's looking down to the left. They can call it if they cross. And maybe the last person or two is in this quadrant of the map. They can't get to sight. Like you have them controlled, you have them contained. But with like those dead silent sneakers, man, people can move like anywhere. And like you hold a position for very long, you're going to get assassinated and have no idea. And sometimes people that are just running around mindlessly are going to get more lucky in kills and positioning without thinking about it, just because of those sneakers. So I get it. I'm not complaining too much. Like, it's not game breaking. It's not this boomer needs to adapt or whatever. I can adapt. I can move fast. I can do all that stuff too. So I'll have to, but I don't enjoy it as much, but it's a thing. So we'll get around it. And that's just another thing I got to counter. Like, we'll use our recall.
I think it's gonna end up getting nerfed a little bit. Probably we'll have to wait and see, because I did run into it once in just a regular quick play match. It was probably like TDM or something, and the guy, I didn't have the bone controller headset on, but I couldn't hear him at all. Multiple occasions during that game, he was just sprinting up on me with zero audio whatsoever. So again, I don't know if the bone conductor counters that. It didn't really in the beta, I think we said. So, if there's no footstep audio whatsoever, I feel like you should be able to hear if someone's sprinting up behind you, at least in the more competitive objective based modes. And like, I'm okay being able to visually see somebody, but yeah, I think like, especially in search, right, when it's those competitive type modes like that, at least if it's like ranked, it should be disabled or something. So
Yep. I agree. I wish that, like I've said several times, that'd be my dream game, is to like start with the skeleton of Call of Duty search and then balance it. Would be awesome. Be my favorite game.
Oh, for sure.
So that's not going to change. Another thing that was kind of a bummer that people are talking about it in chat, like the skill-based matchmaking, that was another thing that I didn't get the feel. So this is from a PC player's perspective. And again, everybody has different like experiences with these games and stuff. So I'm just talking about mine. It used to be really cool when launch was at the same time and everybody was kind of using the guns and leveling up at the same time at like launch night. And this was not the case. So console could do the New Zealand thing. And then I swear that it remembered your skill-based matchmaking from the other game. It kept all those same stats. Because like when we were playing our first games, we were below level 5 playing against level 40s and 50s already, like right at 11 o'clock. And it was just a bummer. It's like, it just felt kind of, I don't know. You miss, and it's not in the grand scheme of the year. We talked about this last week, how like the beginning part of Call of Duty is kind of fun while everybody's trying to figure stuff out. That gets shorter and shorter every year. And in the grand scheme of an entire year, it only lasts for a couple days or like the first weekend anyway. So it's not a huge deal in like the grand scheme of things. But that was a little bit of a bummer to already be playing against sweats. And of course, they're using the decked out meta attacks from the last game. It was like such a bummer, dude.
That's so weird, because I didn't run into anybody running Modern Warfare 2 guns at all so far. But again, I only played a little bit of search just night one for like the quick play rotations. So I didn't really, I didn't encounter any Modern Warfare 2 guns, and I didn't encounter anybody that was like super high ranked that I noticed. But again, I only played like one or two things of search. So
yep, that was a search thing. So if I played so when we would do our daily challenges, which we need to talk about as well, whenever I would do my daily challenges and stuff, those were easier to do in like respawn game modes. I didn't ever see anybody running old guns in those, but in search, where people were really sweating, I feel like they felt comfortable with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I can see that for sure.
So we're one of the big changes. We're talking about things. We've talked a lot about things that are the same, but one of the big changes is that armory unlock. So once you get to level 25, you unlock attachments, equipment, guns, like everything. There's certain ones that you can unlock with armory unlocks, and how those work is you get 3 daily challenges. You get a point for each one of those. And then after that, it goes to a 4th bonus one, which is win a game, and it resets every time. So basically, you win a match, that counts as a point to unlock. Things have different costs. Prox mines were like 5. Tactical camera was like 5. Some of the attachments are like 3. Trophy system was like 8. Like, it just takes different amount of points. And that's something that was weird. And I don't know if I necessarily have an opinion on it. I think for me, again, in my bubble, it worked well, because we, like I said, the first night we won 18 search games out of 20, out of 21. So we went 18-3. So it's like, I got some shit unlocked pretty fast.
Yeah.
But if you're solo queuing in a crazy dom or hard point and people aren't playing the objective and you're trying to win, that is a massive cause of frustration. If you're trying to win a game and your teammates are just going for kills, and like I could see that being frustrating. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with them. I kind of like it. I like it. You know, if the challenges don't work for you on one day, they change the next day, and I thought it gave me something to do. It's like, okay, I, I honestly I like it because it's different. It's something new. First off, it's not just the same old. Okay, let me rank up to level 55, and I'm going to have everything unlocked. You kind of got to pick and choose what you're going to prioritize, um, and then try and unlock it. Right. So, I mean, there was a couple of those the battle rifles. I think in the battle rifles and the aftermarket parts that I prioritized because those were locked behind the armory challenges. So I prioritized those. I had my buddy, this Justin, drop me a couple things in zombies that he already had, and I dropped him some things that I had. So you extract with it, same as DMZ, and you get it. But I liked it. I mean, it was new, and again, it took away from because if you go 1 to 55, like you said, you started playing night one and people are already 40. So it's like, okay, if I'm just gonna play for like 12, 15 hours and have everything, right? Now you can be rank 55 and still be missing more than half the weapons and equipment. So it gives you, you know, you got to prioritize your play style and what you want. I think it's a cool change, and I can go for what I want, and it gives me something to continue to work towards. I personally enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's cool to hate on new things like this, and we're always resistant to change. But I've thought about it a little bit today, and I think I like it because you're able to pick what you want to go after.
Mhm.
Um, so I was able to like, okay, I want a recon drone. It's like, all right, I want that KV inhibitor sniper rifle next, and like it was cool to be able to pick. The daily challenges were really easy, and then it got down really quickly to like winning matches, and that's
Mhm.
really about my only source of frustration is I empathize with
Yeah.
somebody who's solo queuing, and if you're playing like war mode or if you're playing
Mhm.
like dom and the team, like a lot of times when people are leveling guns, you guys know people play hard point and they'll just play off the point and go for kills, or they'll play dom and they'll let people keep the objective while they can get kills and just go for kills. If you're
Yeah.
trying to win matches, man, that is annoying as shit. So I think it would be cool if maybe once you did your 3 challenges, maybe they reset again and
Yeah.
to 3 new challenges instead of just winning games. And just make sure that they're challenges that the player has control of, right? Because I feel like winning matches can kind of take it out of your hands, and then you're not in charge of your destiny at some point.
And I
Depending,
think a
but you
lot
can
of
always
people will start just leaving the lobbies if they're not going to win. So you're going to see like a lot of turnover too. It's something.
exactly
Yeah.
exactly that happens a lot too.
Hmm.
Um, so people can leave, and yeah, it would just be cool to make it more. And I guess the answer to that is like you could go play free for all, I guess, and you're in control of the outcome
Yeah.
more so. But then you're back to like just super sweaty and not necessarily having fun. So I don't know. I think a little bit better system would be. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it'd be cool if it worked for me. Like I said, we won a lot of games, but I just mean it would be cool if they reset and gave the power to the player. Like you have to get like 3 pistol kills or whatever. Like they're not that hard, but it would be.
Yeah. I suspect we'll see them make some adjustments. I think that was just probably the easiest thing to do right off the bat. Um, with everything they probably had prioritized. So I think they'll probably monitor that and hopefully change. Sledgehammer seems like they're on top of things. You know, all the changes they made to the game right now, going into this title and everything, and they've been pretty responsive with everything. So I have, you know, I'm pretty comfortable with their communication so far. So I think it's probably something they're going to monitor because it was something similar they did with I think like one of the previous, maybe it was Vanguard or some other one. They had a similar type challenge system implemented, with wins, and that it just led to like a bunch of lobby turnover. If you weren't winning, people were just going to leave. So
Yeah,
it's not the first time we've seen it. So, you know,
right.
hopefully lessons were learned.
And then I found a cool gun. The Glock. There's a conversion kit for it that puts it like in like a bigger pistol frame where you can put like a stock and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it makes the trigger, it's kind of cool. It makes it like a double action trigger that shoot when you click it shoots, and when you let off it shoots.
Yeah. Binary trigger.
Binary
It's
trigger.
sick. Basically you just tap it. You're full. You're like full auto. It's like
It's
900 to 1,000 rounds per minute.
Yeah, it shoots really fast. So I started
Yeah.
using that as my secondary in search. I did get the akimbo Glocks unlocked, and they were pretty cool. But man, having that binary trigger is like
Oh
that
yeah.
melts people. So I
And you got
used
a
that
50
one.
round mag on it, so if you need it. So yeah.
Yep, it's snappy. So
Yeah, I do like the aftermarket parts. I think is a really, really good concept. What they did with that, like the one that you just mentioned for the Glock, gives it the binary trigger and the carbine kit frame that you can build on it how you want, and then you have there's a bunch of other ones in the game. There's one that we didn't even notice, so they didn't. It wasn't in their blog post before launch because they did a blog post with all of the aftermarket parts and weapons, and this was not in that list. Was the ACR marksman rifle, whichever one that is, one that's chambered in 6.8 SPC. That one has a full auto aftermarket part for it, which is super cool. I really like that they did that. I think that they've taken even though we have you have an ACR assault rifle, an ACR battle rifle, you have an ACR marksman rifle, but they've added, they're unique enough, and the fact that the marksman rifle has a conversion kit to go full auto. I think that that's something we were looking at in Modern Warfare 2019, like the battle rifles that were listed as assault rifles and things, and marksman rifles, they were only single fire, right? Like look at the FAL as an example. Here the marksman rifle has is single fire but has a full auto conversion, so it's cool, like how feasible is it because the rate of fire, and it's a beefy round, but like it gives you the option, so it's cool that they did that. I think adding these aftermarket parts is a really good addition to the game that I like, and case in point is what you said with that Glock conversion to the binary trigger. um it, what they said is it's basically supposed to give you a completely different weapon, which it does. I think the Bren 2 has a 7.62 by 39 conversion that I unlocked yesterday, which again completely changes the weapon feel, handling, rate of fire, everything. So it's really cool, and I think they said they confirmed to creators in a meeting back in August, that they were going to, at least at the time in August, implement aftermarket parts to some of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons also. So, I mean, that's awesome. That it's good for Sledgehammer. They're doing a lot of things with the Modern Warfare series that I think made sense, and things that I personally were kind of looking for a couple of years now. It seems like they're implementing it, so I like it.
yeah, I like the aftermarket parts. I think I don't have a ton of experience with them, but just that one with a Glock was it's cool to like discover something in the game and
Yeah.
then add that to my challenges. I went after it, I unlocked it, got to try it out. It's cool. I
Mhm.
like discovering things like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
One
Exactly.
thing that did bum me out, and again, it gave me that feeling of they mailed it in, was like how
Mhm.
many of the guns that are the same though. Like you have all the KVDs, you have all the Uzis that are the
Yeah.
same,
Yeah.
and I know they're different. They shoot different. Like like the Uzi 9 is like the slow chug rate of fire, and then the Swarm is like the super fast 900 rounds version.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they're different, but it's like when you see the same form factor, the same name, it
Mm.
makes it feel like they're even less launch guns. Um,
Yeah, but they also did the same thing in Modern Warfare 2. I mean, how many ISOs did we have? Right, there's like 35 ISOs in the game. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, I agree. I agree 100%. But they did it's not like we didn't have that. There was multiple M13s. They did it in Modern Warfare 2 for whatever reason. But so I think that was definitely a bummer. But if the leaks are true, if they're true, I mean, it's a big if. Potentially, we're getting 5 primary weapons for season 1, um, which would be, that would be really cool. So that in my mind, if they add 5 primaries instead of 2 or 3, like that's a big step in the right direction.
and then 3 new maps as well, if I
Yeah,
recall.
exact. Yeah, yep.
So that'll be cool. And then the new, what'd you think? You played a little bit of zombies. What'd you think of the big Warzone map? It feels pretty cool. I played around of zombies.
Yeah, I played some zombies too. The map felt cool, and obviously the map is going to be different, like aesthetically,
Right.
because it's like zombified for zombies. So Warzone's going to be. We saw the gameplay. It looks cleaner, more not zombies looking. But yeah, the map was cool for sure. I thought the map is going to be really really fun for Warzone. So, and I haven't even explored half of it. Like not maybe not even a quarter of it. So
Yeah, it's big.
yeah, I only played a couple rounds and I pretty much spawned in the same areas. So I really haven't explored much at all. But I liked the map so far.
Yeah, it's interesting to get like a little bit of a taste of it, albeit with
Yeah.
weird zombie lighting. But no, I think Warzone might play quite a bit better this year. I feel like.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, then we get Rebirth, huh? In like February or something. Like Rebirth Island comes back. That's
Yeah,
when you're
you
gonna
get
see me.
Rebirth and Fortune's Keep.
You'll see me make a return then.
Oh yeah.
To that for sure. But man, I don't know. Overall, man, it feels like the multiplayer feels dirty, man. It feels like they didn't put that much work into it, but I find myself liking it. So like again, in my bubble, I probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Like just from me playing search, the bigger maps that are new to me, like the new tactics I'm having to learn. I'm having fun with it. It's got to be like a 7 out of 10. But I want to caveat that with an asterisk that says, man, they've gotten really good at selling nostalgia, at maximizing profits, man. Like just not having to put a ton of work into it to make billions of dollars. And you just feel that little bit of a dirty, nagging feeling. But if I piss that off and just get into it and have fun, there's fun to be had in the multiplayer. I'm enjoying the change up with the longer time to kill too. It does make some of the net code really stick out, but I feel like I like the ability to outplay. So even if somebody does sneak up on you with those sneakers or something and shoot you in the back, you can sometimes you can turn and get out of the way, hit a stem and refight. I like the longer time to kill a little bit. It's a challenge with mouse and keyboard to track people because the movement's faster as well, and you got to stay on them a little bit longer with tracking them and seeing through the smoke and stuff. But
I had this similar experience on PlayStation. Just like I would stop shooting someone instinctively and I'd be like, oh my god, I didn't kill them.
Yes.
I need to get back on target. So yeah, but I like it. I agree. I like it. I like the TTK. And yeah, I really don't have any gripes about multiplayer. Like I'm having a really good time with it. I'm loving having the old maps back. And I mean, maybe my opinion of it is probably like the minority, but I mean, primarily I've always enjoyed Battlefield over Call of Duty historically. And my whole thing with Battlefield back in the day was, man, I wish they would just basically add on, like bring everything forward to the next game and like multiple modern titles and bring everything forward to basically one super Battlefield. And Call of Duty is basically doing that right now. And I'm all for it. I mean, obviously because I'm a modern shooter fan, so that definitely is like a little bit biased. So I'm pretty damn happy with everything I'm seeing right now. And also I think like I really enjoyed War Mode. I never played it in World War II or Vanguard, whatever one it was in. This is my first time ever playing the War Mode, and I'm like addicted. Like I love that mode. It's a lot of fun. There is an objective, so it's not just mindless like TDM stuff. And it's a longer drawn out game with 2 rounds, and the map is awesome. So I'm pretty excited to have them add more maps for War Mode, because that War Mode map is cool because it starts with it's based off of the original COD 4, whatever map it was. Call of Duty 4 map is there, and then you have a bunch of different Call of Duty 4 maps, and you have Modern Warfare 2019 maps in the mix, and it's all one big map. I think it's really cool how they combine that and made it flow so seamlessly with different maps from COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2019. So I'm excited to see what they do with that mode and additional maps going forward.
That's something I played it in the World War II game, and I had fun with it for a couple times and then kind of got over it.
But I can see it getting repetitive if they don't, add more maps.
That's what I mean. It got repetitive. Not that it was bad. It just got to where like, okay, I'd done that. But yeah, which is how I am with a lot of games and campaigns anyway, but in movies, I never watch movies twice. I don't like repeating stuff.
Oh
But
man, I'm the
but like
opposite.
that's something I always had wished Battlefield would do, and I thought they had a cool chance with 2042 on the big maps. If they
Hmm.
did some sort of like, they kind of started with operations in Battlefield
Yeah,
1 and Grand Operations, but I wish they would have like leaned into that a lot more and made some like story based battles with Battlefield. I think you could have some epic moments, and we talked about that. We've talked about it several times, but like in the lead up to
yeah.
2042, and there was talking about some of the lore and stuff in that Exodus short film. I was like, man, they have such a cool opportunity to do a war mode with Battlefield, but on a huge scale. And have like we're trying to transport these resources into a town that's in a city that's under siege, and like you could have like
Yeah.
there's all kinds of different cool things happen, and how like the operations mode kind of planned out. But I feel like the operations mode was like just kind of like matches of like conquest or breakthrough or front lines or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
You had your own unique dynamic story mode where you had to complete these objectives in Battlefield.
Hmm.
Cool. But COD's doing that on a smaller scale, but that's why
Yeah, they
I
are.
think it's cool.
And it's fun. I mean, it's a great way to rank up weapons, and I like the gameplay I had for both the conversion videos so far was in war mode. I mean, it's if you want, if you're going for like gameplay stuff, like it's awesome for gameplay stuff and ranking up the weapons. And I played it with some buddies yesterday on the Twitch stream. I really enjoyed that mode, and I also, going back just really quick, circle back to like the Modern Warfare 2 guns in the game and stuff like that. Because I know some people were like, when I did one of my videos, like all weapons on launch day, just went through everything quick. People were saying like, "Oh my god, they released a COD title without an M4 in the game," and so it's almost like a lot of people maybe who probably haven't bought the game yet don't realize and aren't in the news about everything like we are. That they brought all those weapons forward. So I mean, I really like how they're doing that. And honestly, like last night I watched just on Amazon Prime. I was like having some downtime. I watched the 2014 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Sabotage, which is the like DEA agents who take down like drug take down cartels and stuff. Really, really great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I liked it a lot. But I was like, this one dude was using a Scar Heavy, and I was like, yeah, I want to try and make that now that we can put some of the Modern Warfare 3 attachments on the Modern Warfare 2 guns and vice versa. I want to go and try and build this. And I made like a disgustingly awesome Scar Heavy build. And then how they balance the Modern Warfare 2 guns. I haven't used them in game, but I've used them in the firing range, and they feel a lot better. Like the Scar Heavy was like almost unusable in a lot
Yeah.
of scenarios, and then I'm in the gun range with like a 4x optic on it or an L-can, which you couldn't even use in Modern Warfare 2, and I'm able to get shots on target relatively easily. Still some kick, still some smoke, but comparatively, I can win firefights with a Scar Heavy with an L-can or any weapon with an L-can. You can see in the gameplay I'm running a PKP with an L-can. Like that's something you couldn't you tried that in Modern Warfare 2, it's like a death sentence because it was just the worst optic in the world. It's just the kick and everything was crazy. So they did a really good job, I think, balancing things so far. And like we said, like we talked about with Battlefield, kind of what we wanted. Like this is almost like a super Call of Duty they're going into here. I want to see more unique weapons, and if the season one leaks for weapons and maps and things that are true, they're going to really give us a great season one and some other things that are rumored for season two. I also want to see more of the. I'd love to see some additional returning Modern Warfare 2019 maps or maps and weapons, because we already have some of the weapons made in return here, like the Holger and the Origin 12, things like that. So this is I'm very happy with this game so far. I'm having a blast with it, and I'm really excited for Warzone. I think Warzone is going to be great this year. The movement, everything feels good. The amount of weapons and attachments you have in this game, like there's got to be close to like over 100 optics. It feels like when I'm scrolling through them. So I'm really really impressed with what they did, and I know everyone's shitting on Infinity Ward about a lot of things, but you wouldn't have this game. You wouldn't have anything Modern Warfare wise right now if it weren't for Infinity Ward. So I think Infinity Ward gets a bad rap, especially if we're talking if you're one of the proponents that are like this is DLC, blah blah blah. Well, it's like, well, then Infinity Ward essentially developed this entire game, and Sledgehammer tweaked some stats in the back end, which obviously is not the case. But I think Infinity Ward did a great job with their games, Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, some downsides. I think it's also really good that another studio gets a chance to flex their muscles in the Modern Warfare series, which I've been wanting to see for a long time. And next year we're gonna get Treyarch coming in with a new title set in like the Gulf War era. And so we're getting to see studios do things outside of what they usually are able to do, and I think this is all good. So,
And then I'm ready for Sledgehammer to do Advanced Warfare 2 next time.
I actually loved it. Yeah, I mean, I loved
Dude.
it. I enjoyed it, dude. I liked Advanced Warfare 1.
I feel like when everybody gets asked what their favorite COD is, it's probably the first one you played because like it's like super new and like you're just getting into gaming and it's really neat and stuff. And for me, my first COD I ever played was Advanced Warfare.
Dude, I not only did I love the campaign for that, but I had a blast with the multiplayer, and I was just playing for like shits. No, hook it up to the big screen and just goof around with a roommate and play swap turns on multiplayer. Had a blast.
I thought that game did, it got a little weird at the end with like the clowns and the gingerbread man and stuff. But like I thought they do. Well, this one starts out weird because I just saw you in a brand new game fighting against Nicki Minaj. But
dude, she put up a fight. Let me tell you.
Anytime you got a Nicki in the S&D lobby, it's not good. There she is again. Oh, I hate her. She's probably a great person. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I thought they did futuristic warfare so awesome. It was like dark and gritty. That game had the coolest stuff, like with customization, where you could change your gloves, boots, pants, exo, top, and helmet all differently. So everyone had like a really unique look. And people can hate me and make fun of me, but I thought the setting of Advanced Warfare was like super cool. Like I thought it was really unique. The maps were still gritty, but they were like futuristic, but not quite space. Like it was like a believable future, like a believable dystopian future.
Exactly. And, I don't know what year was set in, but yeah, definitely it was very, very believable. It was like modern with near future elements.
And allegedly they've tried to make Advanced Warfare a couple times, but Activision told them no. So maybe Microsoft's given like Blizzard and stuff allegedly some more freedom, so maybe they'll let these studios make more of what they want, and we'll see. I mean, Advanced Warfare 2.
Our buddy Ralph was tweeting stuff about Advanced Warfare 2 over the weekend, so it could very well be the pipeline. Probably, we'll have to see.
Wonder how that would be. I'm excited for the next COD that's not on PS4 and Xbox One. It gets rid of old gen finally.
Yeah, I agree. That needs to go. I think this is hopefully this or 2024 will be the last one, because they need to, now that the next gen consoles are available. I think 2024 is one. Will be probably the last one on last. Hopefully,
hope so. But anyway, we'll keep following along with COD over in my corner of playing Search. I think we're good. I think I'd feel all sunshine and rainbow farts if this was like if this was like $40, because it had like kind of the same like skeleton and base and the same older maps and stuff. I would feel great about it if it was a little bit cheaper. But at the end of the day, for the amount of content that is there, inflation, I guess you can talk me into the $70, but like I don't know. It's pretty good. The multiplayer is pretty good. The campaign was ass. We'll see on Warzone. But
yeah, and if you're someone that's like, it's $70 for a DLC, well, just don't buy as many store bundles this year then. If
don't buy like any store bundle.
Yeah, if that's like really your hardcore take, because I mean, even if the game were free, you'd buy 2 store bundles and already pay for the game, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get their money one way or the other.
Yeah, like they're gonna get whatever. I shudder to think the amount of money I spent on Modern Warfare 2019 store. Just disgusting, because they were putting up good.
You're a whale. You're part of the problem.
I was like, I need to buy it.
You're part of the problem. Like speaking of Advanced Warfare, but that's when the loot boxes started, and I hate to think of how many loot boxes I bought, dude, because that was just the start of it, and they hadn't got a really bad rap yet. And I was like, I gotta get this Obsidian Steed or the Insanity HBR. I was like,
I'm glad I never got into those. Glad I never got into that, because like I was so casual. I had a time where I was hardcore, then I went casual, and then back into like a hardcore.
Dude, that game got me with the loot boxes, because I didn't really know any better, and I had like graduated college for a little bit and been on my own and like had some like money just being single, doing my thing. And I was just shelling it out for for loot boxes, man. Not good. Not good.
All right, $500 tonight for this obsidian camo. Here we go.
Don't want to talk about it. Not good. Kind of embarrassing. Got it figured out now. Yeah, I guess we could talk about some other things, but yeah, we'll keep up with COD. There'll be it'll probably be a segment, probably most every week, with the updates and stuff like that, coming out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And,
And like there's also another weapon that is coming before season one. One of the LMGs is the Scar Hammer IAR. That's going to be coming before season one for a challenge. So I mean, I don't know when that's going to come, but sometime between now and December 5th, I think, is the end of season 6. So season 1 should start, and the Warzone launch should start somewhere around the 5th of December. So it's right around the corner. So we do have a lot of content coming. It's going to be good.
And I need you guys to tell me, or I need you to tell me what stuff I need for aftermarket parts. Which ones I got to go after? Was that battle rifle one pretty legit? Was it pretty stout?
The one that went to full auto that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a marksman rifle. I mean, it's really good. The full auto version, how feasible is it in game? I haven't used it yet. I've messed around with the gunsmith and I unlocked it. It's good. I would say like the Bren 2, I think it's the MTZ 762. That one, you level it up, kind of a pain in the ass, but then it has an aftermarket part conversion, which gives it 762 by 39 Russian rounds. And it aesthetically changes the weapon a lot, and the rate of fire and recoil control is a lot better because it's a smaller caliber. So it's worth the grind to level up the weapon and do the challenges for the aftermarket part. So I think a lot of those. The thing is, most people aren't going to unlock that stuff too, at least anytime soon. So I think it's cool, like you said, it's cool to discover like, oh, there's an aftermarket part that does this. Awesome, I'm going to get it. See how it is.
Agreed. All right, move on to a couple faster stories, potentially. Rainbow Six Operation Deep Freeze, a new operation. This is the last one of year 8 that's coming out. It looks cool. It's the first time in quite a while that we've gotten a new map. So there's a new map called Demos's Lair. It's like a kind of think Batcave for like a bad guy. It's like a supervillain lair with like all kinds of different like labs and research facility. I mean, like, Tony Stark's like super badass house, but it's like that, but for a dickhead. So, that's a cool map to learn. A lot of big changes coming to Rainbow Six, man. The new operator, I jokingly call him Toblerone, like the chocolate bar. But it is Turboral, I think is how you say it. It's Portuguese for shark, I believe, or it means shark.
Okay.
But what he has is like a canister that has oxygen and liquid nitrogen, and you throw it and the glass breaks and it freezes. So it's like a real-time almost impact breach denier. Like, so if somebody's trying to thermite a wall, he can throw it on there and it freezes it and stops the thermite charge. Doesn't destroy it.
Oh,
it freezes it for a second. And then when players walk into it, they also are slowed down a little bit, kind of like barbed wire, and they leave footprints. So actually, he can throw it on a ceiling and it freezes and they leave footprints in the ice. So you can see them above you too.
That's awesome.
Through the ice. It's really neat. Man, for me at first glance for this operator, it seems like it's a really good op. It fits right in the pocket. It feels like it's going to be strong and well used as a team, but it doesn't feel like Fenrir or Ram or something where you can pop off and go crazy on solo. I think he's going to fit really well into a team with good comms and stuff. Like if you stack him with a Kaid, somebody's trying to breach a wall, he can throw that canister, freeze the breach. Kaid can throw the electric claw and blow it up and shock it and kill the charge. So I'm excited for this op. Actually, I usually don't get that way. There's going to be some really cool plays. He can actually freeze almost any objective. His counters are like Fenrir and Twitch can shoot the canisters and stop the freezing effect. Zero can shoot him with the SAM cams. Yeah, there's just a lot of potential here. You can see him on here freezing a fuse charge, stopping that from going off. It gives the operator that it freezes next to a little bit of a stun effect, like some ice on their visors and stuff. And then like being able to see those footprints turns it into an intel operator as well. But just in that small area, not like pulse that can move around and stuff. So yeah, new map. That frag grenades are getting nerfed heavily, which is going to be crazy. It's one of those things. It's like people are mad about it, but if you think about what people use frag grenades for,
right,
it's a necessary thing.
Yeah,
I was actually just playing Siege with Big Fry on his stream a little bit earlier today, and there was someone in Armory in the Oregon map, and I was finking with nades. I just went under, took the nade, let it go on the floor, blew them up from below. There's literally nothing they could do. So nades are a little bit strong. Now they won't be, their fuses are shorter, but you can't cook them. And
okay, that's good.
So
that's good.
A lot of times people were picking operators for nades, not for the operator ability. They're just picking nade operators because grenades were stronger than a lot of operators' gadgets, to be honest. For clearing out utility.
Glad to see I'm glad to see they're still doing that, those kind of adjustments.
It's constant.
This far, that's the game's been out since 2015 or something. So that's insane that they're still doing that.
Yeah, this is the last year, or this is the last season of year 8. So we'll have this season until February.
Wow.
And then February is the SI. That's the World Championships. I can't wait, man. I just watched the Atlanta Major over this last week. It was some really good Siege, fun to watch. So yeah, he can freeze. He's good on the roam too. So you just saw him in that clip. He froze a Claymore. So you threw it on a Claymore, freeze it, go ahead and flank. Same with the Nomad charge. So it's cool. He can play on site with helping with breachers, getting some intel above, and also roam and clear out gadgets and freeze them and make moves and flanks and stuff. So it's a cool op. Pretty shitty guns.
Did I read it? Yeah, I was gonna say his guns. He has got MPX, and then did I read the M4 right? Is that a 50 cal Beowulf AR-15 I saw?
Yeah, it's a DMR. It's a semi-automatic 50 cal AR. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yep. So he's got that rolling. Same gun as Maverick and the same SMG as Warden and Valkyrie.
Nice.
The MPX. So no, I'm excited. One thing that bummed me out, it's one of those things that initially just pissed me off right away, but I'm gonna have to wait and see, is they got rid of T-Hunt, like a classic game mode. They have a new AI mode that you're fighting against like operators that are actually like playing the objective, setting out utility, making rotates. You're playing against like computer controlled enemies, but play like real players. So they had to take out the AI of Terrorist Hunt. And that's how like me and a lot of people have traditionally over the years have warmed up. Like you just hop in a T-Hunt, run around and shoot bots. That's kind of how you get loose and warm up a little bit. So that's just a staple of the game. It's been a staple for 8 years. So kind of feels weird to hear them say they're getting rid of it. Is
there a reason that you said it?
They have a new AI playlist.
They're okay. That's fine. Okay.
So they're replacing it with new AI that plays more like the objective and stuff. T-Hunt, they were just scattered around the map like super rudimentary bots, just like basic, really basic AI that you could just kind of run around and warm up on. But which is good for staying loose. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm gonna reserve judgment. They're doing some cool stuff with onboarding. So as you guys know, the barrier to entry to Rainbow Six is a bitch to learn everything. So they actually have a new mode that's kind of cool called Map Run, and I'm going to try it out with the new map because this will be a map I don't know, right? This brand new one. You can actually, it's a way of teaching you the map. So there's different objectives in different rooms. It shows you a picture of the room and kind of how to get there, and then you go grab the objective. You grab a tablet, I think, and then it shows you a next one. So you're basically just running around learning the map and learning the call outs. And it's supposed to be like a quick, cool way to help learn maps.
Okay, so that's good, yeah.
So they're doing that with several of the ranked ones. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because it'll be cool if we can learn the new map quickly. I'm excited for that. So there's a lot of changes.
Neat. That is good. It's good to see they're still supporting it, because when I played it, I was having a blast with it. Really loved this game before I played it. Like I said before, I played it before Modern Warfare 2019 came out, like that summer before launch, because I needed something like new that was also modern. I hadn't played it before, and like I loved it, man. I was in love with it.
You got to get back into it, because now
That's not gonna do what it takes to like relearn things, man. And
but they
just
got
don't.
map run. You'll learn the maps. It'll be great.
Oh man, maybe.
Play with Buddy Crash.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Correct.
that's on the test server now. So I'm gonna check it out, and then in a few weeks it'll be on the main server. So yeah, Rainbow Six still doing stuff. Probably my favorite game. Any more? Cool. The next thing I want to talk about was Delta Force. You saw this.
Oh man. I did, yeah. We talked about this like a couple months back when it first was announced. Yep. So good to see it coming back around.
So some people are thinking this could be a Battlefield competitor. I don't know if I would go that far. It is going to, it's a shooter that is going to have a big Battlefield mode, like a big giant battle mode with the large teams. It also has like an extraction type mode with objectives and stuff. So it's an interesting mode to say the least. Looking at this gameplay, so there's supposed to be a more widespread test in Q1 of 2024. And this, I think, is showing gameplay of their extraction mode with a squad. They did a test in China where it is based out of and showed some gameplay. And I think it looks pretty sick for what it is. You do get a little bit of the mobile vibes with everything, but you can see like the inventory from the extraction mode and some of the objectives where they're extracting resources and objectives and stuff. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. I thought what was really interesting, if you guys remember the initial trailer that came out with Delta Force, it was really heavy into like specialists and abilities and stuff, and people were pissed. And it's funny, in this gameplay, you hardly see any of it. You see a little bit of the recon arrow there, but they really went away from the crazy specialists, I feel like, that everybody was pretty upset about. But
yeah, you didn't see like really, that was, I think, the only instance you really saw here. And it didn't look crazy specialist like.
It wasn't too bad. It was almost like throwing up a UAV or something.
Right, exactly.
But no, they have, you can already see like really interesting objectives that they're doing. You can see the mini map. It's on a large open map that looks pretty cool. It definitely looks Unreal Engine-y. I don't know, man. This definitely improved my opinion of it from what I've seen so far. Again, like I haven't played it, but it looks pretty cool on the surface, and we'll definitely keep track of it. But if you guys are interested, definitely check out some of the gameplay. It's on the screen now, but if you're listening, you can check out, I think it's playdeltaforce.com, and you can see some the alpha testing of their Chinese play test, and then hopefully we can get our hands on it in Q1. There's a place on their website also to sign up for it. You can pre-register at Play Delta Force on your respective platform and sign up to try to get in on the test. So I don't know how many they're going to take or whatever, but it's definitely worth checking out. If I remember right, it has a vehicle and infantry combined arms, kind of like Battlefield Conquest mode. I thought it had a third mode. I can't remember for sure. And then it's got the extraction mode: infiltrate, go around, do objectives, progress, extract, and get out. So
yeah, if anything, it's going to be fun, right? Like I'm pretty excited to get hands on this sometime, because it's just going to be, if anything, it's just going to be like good fun.
Yep. And hopefully, I think it's going to be probably free to play, but hopefully the microtransactions and stuff are okay, and something you can get into and mess around with. So that is out there to check out. The other thing I had, quick shots, baby. The Forge Falcons. So those are the folks that are making, if you guys hadn't heard, we talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago, are making the Battle Royale in the Forge mode for Halo Infinite. And that's going really well. They've added, I heard Blackout talking today. They've added quads, trios, duos, solos. It was a featured playlist on the like official screen that 343 like featured the Battle Royale that the Forged Falcons, a group of modders, has made. And they're having LAN tournaments now. And they've added a bunch of stuff to the map, new weapons, power-ups, finished some stuff out with the circles. Just it's coming along really nicely within Forge. And then the other bit of news is that they're actually making a zombie mode. So these people, the Forge Falcons, have been like, all right, you guys aren't going to make the modes we want. We'll just do it. And the BR is out there now. They're making a Halo PvE experience, Survive the Undead 2.0. Brings many and updated changes to the experience. It's going to have the Forge AI, a tiered perk system, random weapons wall buy. So it's going to be like round-based COD zombies, essentially. Boss waves, down player mechanics, legendary drops, new wave system, new equipment, chaos waves, map visual updates, and Easter eggs. They're going to add, and it's crazy that they're doing this within Forge, right? Like they're doing this within user tools. They're going to be adding story modes, cinematic sequences, map visual updates, and seasonal theming. So I don't know. The Forge Falcons, I would definitely follow them on Twitter and keep up, even if you're just kind of interested in this stuff. The fact that they're taking Forge and just killing it, man, using it to its full potential is really neat to see. And if you haven't checked out Halo, remember Halo Infinite multiplayer is free. So even if you haven't checked it out in a minute, you can get in and download this for free and check out Halo's Battle Royale. And on November 17th, they're dropping their zombie wave system. And I've heard from several people that Halo's really turned around. Season 5 has been pretty good with Halo. So yeah, cool to see. This is something that we talked about again with Jim from EA about how user generated content. I know Blue is always really big on mods and stuff and modding communities, keeping games going and doing fun stuff. And these guys are just absolutely going balls to the wall with it. It's cool to see.
Yeah, cool absolutely. It is good. We've been talking about this battle royale for Halo since before launch. So
yeah, and I don't know what happened to it because there used to be like leaks and stuff where they were talking about, it was like called Project Tatanka or something.
Yeah,
and people were. And then Halo did some stuff where like some of their marketing material and tweets showed like Spartans dropping in and stuff, and everybody instantly thought, oh, it's going to be a BR, but then it just nothing happened. I don't get it.
You never heard about it again from them. Their teases. It's really weird.
And a lot of the big streamers, I know Tim and Doc and like all those really big streamers were like, we need a Halo BR. We need a Halo. Like they always say it. And
dude, it would, I mean, like it or not, like look at Apex. Like Apex had very similar, like, you know, arcadey mechanics, I guess, that Halo did, at least from my limited experience past. Halo, like the jumping and all that stuff, like Apex felt very Halo-ish to me, which is probably why I didn't like it, because I was never a huge Halo fan. But I mean, you know, the success of Apex, like, I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Crazy.
Yep. It's weird. I think that's about it. Did you want to talk about that Burning Land stuff? Do I need to hit the old
I only saw some of the back and forth. I really have no idea what's going on with it. All I know is their Kickstarter lost a lot of money in supporters because of some crap they pulled.
If you guys are interested in some indie dev drama, I guess, check out Burning Lands. Big Fry made a couple really good videos on it that covered everything really well. This is a tweet from Moydog that landed on the game's subreddit. Burning Lands, I think it, from what I understand, was kind of like a Hell Let Loose type game set in Vietnam. Yeah. And essentially what happened is something like, this is a ballpark, don't quote me on this, like 18 of the 23 devs or something like that kind of went on strike. So the tweet from Moydog, who is a squad content creator, talked about developer strike, rumors of illegal work requests, and now the dev team, which has quit, are holding a no holds barred AMA, while project lead Chance is attempting damage control. Is quite possibly the biggest scam in Milsim history. Yeah, so the devs just got tired of not being included into talks, not with the leader, not being the manager, not being transparent with where the money's going and stuff. And they had like over $100,000 in their successful Kickstarter, and it was a successful one. And since then, with everybody seeing it and the devs coming out and taking everything public, it's just tanked. Last I saw, it was down below like 30,000. So a bunch of the backers, the Kickstarter backers, pulled their money, pulled their funding before it ended, and it lost a ton of money.
Yeah, and I know Blue. Unfortunately, he's not here with us tonight, but I saw like him reply to one of the tweets saying that he was on a Discord. I think it was Blue on a Discord call for like a showcase or something, and developers were just like shitting all over, like basically, you know, airing their grievances, not live on a Discord call, which, you know, that's not really professional to begin with, but also goes to show like don't treat your employees like shit. I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Because
Like,
look, I don't look what happened.
I don't know how super bad it was, but it had to be bad if they were. That's essentially going nuclear, right? Like you're
Yeah,
burning
yeah,
all your bridges.
yeah.
So not going well. Oh, one more thing I did want to talk about. Phoenix actually brought this up in the Discord, and I saw they had a. Oh, what am I trying to say? Nexon had an earnings call. They are the ones that are the majority stakeholders in Embark Studios. And they released some new pre-alpha gameplay footage of Arc Raiders. Oh wait, I forgot. We can't talk about it. Okay, now we can talk about it. I had to play that. It doesn't count. During their earnings call, I saw Rockhound did a video about it, but I hadn't checked it out yet. I haven't had time. So it's pretty cool to see. Again, I played the test of this. This has a super good foundation to it. Cool ass looking game. It has a good foundation.
It looks awesome.
It just needs a lot more story and content because you can tell that they changed directions from PvE to PvP. You could tell in the alpha test that they changed directions based on the amount of like PvP content progression that there was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see that the visual aspects of the game are not an issue with this studio. It looks,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it
definitely
looks
not.
really cool. So you guys can check that out on Nexon's YouTube video. It's also in my Discord. Phoenix posted it on the Scope channel in the Discord. This is a game. I feel like Embark Studios just keeps trading back and forth with the finals and with Arc Raiders. They did like an early finals test, and then they did the Arc Raiders test, and then we've had another finals beta, and now we're kind of waiting to hear what they're going to do with Arc Raiders. But they got these two big games that a lot of people are excited about. Arc Raiders is it's definitely one of them. This had like the full-on extraction shooter everything. Like you could build your base, you could build your hideout with different modules and modes for crafting, and like it was. This is a true PvPvE extraction game, and it's got a cool, unique setting, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. It looks, like you said, visually it looks amazing. So all good things.
Yep, visually it looks really good. If they can keep their performance up, and if they can keep enough progression, like everybody who's listened knows I'm skeptical of extraction shooters at the end of the day in the end game. So we'll see what they do there, what they can pull off. But there's some new footage out there. It's good to see. They're still moving forward. That two big projects from Embark.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They got some bangers coming out, hopefully. So we'll see. And as long as they don't pull a Modern Warfare 2 DMZ, keep it in beta, and then give up on it, they'll be all right.
Yeah, dude. So many people played the finals, man. They had a massive play test this last time.
Yeah, they crushed it. Yeah, that's good to see.
That was crazy. But anyway, guys, no, I think that's a show. I think we got through everything. Right? We good?
Yeah, I was gonna type it out. I was like, to think though, that basically DICE pretty much drove all those developers away. now look at it. It's like, great, cool. We could have had all of that in Battlefield and maybe some other titles from EA, but
Upper DICE management and EA for sure. I feel like EA probably had a big part into telling them what to do. Sure. This is obviously something that they thought about and wanted to do and had to split off.
Yeah, it sounds like a passion project.
You can tell. It looks like one too. It looks like they care.
They're proving, this is like a lot of these folks are from the DICE that made the last good Battlefield, which is Battlefield 1. So, and previous good ones too. So, I mean, they're proving a point for sure.
Pretty much. Cool, man. All right. I think that's the show. Thank you guys for being here. Stay tuned on social channels. I'm not sure. Next week is kind of up in the air. Just in case, have an awesome Thanksgiving. Travel safe. Enjoy it with your friends. Auntie, hope you're well, man. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you a lot, man. I was just looking. I just saw he posted a Godot port update. 6 out of 10, dude. 60% on the way there.
Nice.
I think just to get off topic a little bit on what he's doing at Road to Vostok, it's like, man, like him showing what you can do with like an open source engine could be huge. for like,
yeah, it's amazing, dude.
because that's an
insane.
I think that's an open source engine that anybody can just use, and he's making this like super sick single player shooter in it that like it's gonna show people that you know what you're doing. You can make some cool shit with tools that are available. So anyway,
yeah, it's really impressive for sure. But no, to your point, just remember, guys, if we can't do the show next week, I'll be taking over Crash's accounts and we'll be live from a strip club in some undisclosed location. Crash said he'd give me at least $5,000 to just toss around, so we'll have a good time no matter what.
yeah, think like a train wreck stream giveaway with not near as much money.
Yeah, something like that. We'll have a good time no matter what. It'll be good.
Yeah, so we'll figure something out. Stay tuned for what we got going on. All that being said, if an episode doesn't work out, which it will, but if it doesn't, have an awesome Thanksgiving. Everybody travel safe. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you a bunch. But yeah, I think that's all I had. Take care. If you want to support the show, be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you everyone for downloading and listening to it. It's been a ton of you guys listening to it. Love you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Take care.